This is the retro tin set. Now this came out in November and I got it for Christmas, as well as this snazzy little Esquivel device over here. I'm going to give a quick overview of this. There's not really that much to it, so don't expect a massive video. It comes in various bits. If you count these 6 books as one bit, so you've got books 1 through 6, and then you have the tin. Now, anybody who gets this will probably say that the main reason to get this is the tin, because most people have these. It is nice, however, let's just cover these first, to have printed Animorphs books again. I know we had the reissue in 2011, but it's been 9 years since we've had Animorphs books printed, unless you count the graphic novel. But they're nice. They've got that new book smell, which I adore. I believe, however, and I could probably check this, but I'd be wasting too much time, that these are not the original books. And by that I mean, it's the writing from the reissues in 2011, which has updated references and stuff like that. So they're not actually, as my fiance pointed out, truly retro. They aren't the originals. However, I don't mind too much. There might be some people that do, but I'm not going to read these. I'm just going to have them because, you know, I'm a collector. So, you've got those books there. And I do find it quite interesting that in the last one, book 6, we do get the preview of book 7. Why would they do a preview of book 7 if they didn't eventually plan to release it? Maybe that's just me being too hopeful. But maybe someday we will get more reprints. I actually wouldn't be surprised. We are getting new Animorphs stuff. Graphic novel, retro tin set. And I think the future does look bright for Animorphs, and this is one of those starting points. Let's talk about the main part of the retro tin set, and that is, of course, the tin. It looks, as you see here, you've got the images of the books on the side. You've got the top, which is rather nicely laid out. It's imprinted, so it's not just a flat surface. These little bits as well, they stick out from the tin. The choice of cover art, I mean, it makes sense, it being book 1. It's certainly not my favourite cover. I think book 2 has a much superior cover. But considering it is book 1, it does make sense. And the colour scheme in the background is very pleasant. It goes quite nicely with my Esquivel device over here. On the underside, it came with this little thing that I'm going to take off now, just to reveal what's underneath. Bear with me, I don't want to break the tin. So it comes with just a little thing that says, "Save the world all over again with the Animorphs. Revisit the wildly popular series by K.A. Applegates with this exclusive retro collection. Features books 1 to 6, etc., etc., all with their original covers in a collectible tin case." And it gives all the scholastic stuff. It's quite pricey. $41 US. I imagine that's something like £32. So it's not cheap. It really isn't cheap. A nice little Animorphs logo on the bottom here. Inside, nothing special. It's just a tin, essentially. You can see the imprint that you get in the front there. The big issue that I have with this retro tin set, you've probably seen, just by looking at it, that this tin is not in good shape. It's quite dented. Just trying to get a good look at the camera there. It's dented here. It's dented on the other side as well. The cover has got this rather hideous dent already on the bottom side. Now, before you say, well, Adam, what you've clearly done there is you've bashed it about here, there, and everywhere. I've hardly touched this thing, and in fact, when it came in its box, it had these dents. I'm not sure if all the dents were there, but it is an incredibly fragile tin, and I'm holding it now, and I'm trying to be as delicate as possible, which is a real shame, really, because you'd expect it to be at least somewhat sturdy, but these dents are quite telling as to the quality of the materials used for the tin, and that's the major downside for this. Would I recommend this to Animorphs fans? Yes, of course, for 2 reasons. For the experienced Animorphs fan, It's a nice collectible item, even if you don't want to touch it that much because it is quite fragile. It looks quite pleasant on the outside, and it's nice to just have in your collection. As well as that, let's not forget that these are reissues of Animorphs. And as far as I'm concerned, any reissue of Animorphs is a positive. New fans, for example, if you bought this for somebody of the appropriate age, they've got 6 books to read now of Animorphs, a great way to get them into the fandom. So yes, I would recommend this, despite the obvious flaws of the delicate nature of the tin itself. A quite nice little item. It is quite pricey, but my recommendation to collectors out there is go ahead, why not? If you've got the funds to afford it, this is a nice little addition to the collection. I also recommend these. I believe this was from Mr. Go. This was also in my Animorphs Christmas bundle. I also got a couple of prints from David Mattingly, which I'm sure one of them hasn't arrived yet. Once that one arrives, I'll do a little review on those prints, because I will at that point have 3 of them. And I think it's a superb thing that Dave Mattingly has done for us in putting those prints out for sale. Again, quite pricey, but if you can afford it and you're a dedicated Animorphs fan, then I think it's truly worth it to relive the glory that was the Animorphs series. So that was my review of the Animorphs Retro tin set. Let's just put this back in. Quite weighty, these books. Might be heavier than you expect. Let's see how well they fit back in. Nice and, well, nicely sized, of course. Do slip around a bit, but that's to be expected. That is the Animorphs Retro tin set. So go get it now if you've got some spare funds. If you haven't already got it, I imagine a lot of you do. Thank you very much for watching this review, and expect more in the future. I've got myself a couple of new Transformers toys as well. Whether I do a review on them or whether I wait to get more, that remains to be seen. But thank you very much for watching this review. Go get yourself the Animorphs Retro tin set. It's got my recommendation. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra!